It's been really hot here lately, so I can't really spend too much time in the garage, but I'm going to shoot this video over several days. And this is the install for my wife's rock slide engineering running boards, rock sliders. So I'm going to just unbox everything today and get it all laid out, start reading directions. And I might start turning wrenches on this during the week, but like I said, this will be a video over several days, and once it's all complete, I'll do all the editing and get it online, so in case you guys want to install it on yours, you'll have a good idea. Good morning. Saturday morning, about 6 a.m. and I am going to get an early start on Mama Goose's rock slide engineering step sliders. It's been real hot here lately, so I figured I'll get an early start, hopefully knock this out in a couple hours and not have to fight with the heat in this garage. So got all my tools already laid out. Step sliders I've been tripping over the last 4 days, so I can't wait to get those installed. Got all my tools, the brackets, the wiring harness, so hopefully we have all of our parts and they didn't forget anything. So just going to sit here for a few minutes and get myself motivated while enjoying a nice cup of joe. Motivated. Let's go. Alright, so first things first, let's take off these stock sliders. That's weird. Gotta grab the deep socket for 2 of them. The other 2 is fine. Alright, so that's all 4 bolts. This should somehow just come right out. That was easy. Lots of dust and dirt in there. Alright, I'm just going to go climb on the other side and take off that other rock slider. Alright, so now what the instructions are telling us to do is to remove these 2 front 10mm bolts off the pinch seam. So, let's knock that out real quick. Boy, it's all I started to use the socket, but I wasn't getting a good hold of it because of all the paint that's right there. So I grabbed myself a ratcheting wrench, and I'm going to try to take it off with that by pressing it on here. There we go. Boy, they really caked that paint on right there. Alright, I'm going to knock that out on the other side. Alright guys, so what it wants us to do now is to back out these 2, actually there's 4, 2 on each side. There's these body bolts that mount the frame to the body. So we're going to take those off next. We're going to take them down only about a 1/4 inch so that there's enough play in this washer right here. So dirt everywhere. They warned me. They said that they put these things on with a ton of Loctite. Trying to take a shortcut, but it's all right. Man, that is tight. All right, we'll see if that does it. Boy, that seems to fit perfect. I'm going to back it off just a little so we have some room to play. There we go. Now the instructions did say that, so you're supposed to put the bracket in between that big washer and here, but the bracket, maybe if I get I'm going to grab my rubber mallet and see if I can force it in there. Otherwise I'm going to have to take this bolt all the way out and shave off the first 2 or 3 threads that are closest to the bolt head, but I kind of got it started. I feel as if I got a rubber mallet, I can get it in there. All right, that seems good. Let's go ahead and tighten that one up. I'm gonna loosen it just a hair. Alright guys, so next step what we got to do is we have to put this piece of molding right below the curve of the door. So let's make quick work of that. It's got some good double-sided tape on the back here. Which I constantly struggle with. This is where Mama Goose comes in handy. Alright guys, so next step is we're ready to put the slider on already, which escalated quickly. What I want you to do is take the wire harness that's coming off of the motor and run it through the existing hole that's right here. So we're going to do that, get it out of the way. And now we're going to line it up with the original holes that the rock slider that came with the vehicle was on. So let's see if we can get this on by ourselves. Alright guys, so next step is just securing these nuts to the bolts that were mounted onto the rock slider. So I'm going to climb under there and start tightening all those down. There's a total of 8, 4 on each side. So we're ready to go ahead and install the skid plate before we install these last 8 bolts that hold the slider onto the frame mounts. So if you didn't have the rock slider, the armor, you would not have to worry about it at all, and obviously you would just put them in right now. But because it uses the same 8 bolts as this to secure to the body, they want you to also throw that on top. So I'm going to start 2 of these bolts so I can slide it on and hold it, since I don't have any help out here right now. Got those 2 on. Alright, so now we should be able to just slide this out and slide it over those bolts. Alright, so everything's tightened up here. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to torque everything down to the proper spec, and all the hardware is completely installed. So I'm just going to torque everything up, and then we're going to move to the electrical. So hang in there with me. Alright guys, so we got all the rock sliders installed on both sides. We're going to be transitioning now to running all the wiring, the electrical, taking apart some of the plastic panels on the inside here. Got the hood up, ready to go, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is take out this floor mat. Give us some room to work. Whew. Step one's done. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to dislodge this panel. Just takes a little bit of finesse in it without breaking anything.
I think Sierra just drank toilet water.
I had dogs that used to do that. Hopefully it was clean toilet water.
Ew, Sierra.
So what it wants us to do now is to basically route the wiring harness. First thing it wants you to do is take out the fuse that was in here. So I already removed that. And now we're going to hook up the positive and negative wire. And then we're going to route this across the engine bay and then through the firewall, which I'll show you where that's at next, without losing any of these nuts, which I'm infamous for. And we'll do one more tie down, but I want to put it through the firewall first. And in my last video, and a few videos ago when I did the KC install on Goose's JL, I showed you on the driver's side where the firewall plug is. I have already taken that out while I had the gardener making a ton of noise, and I re-drilled a bigger hole in there. So I already had the wires for the KC lights going to the switch through there, but the hole wasn't big enough, so I had to take it out and drill a bigger hole, and I already put it back in there. So that's one step you didn't see. So I'm going to fish these through that hole in the plug that goes through the firewall, and then we'll put this last zip tie on. Alright guys, so what it wants us to do now is to unravel the large harness in the back seat here and route the connectors underneath those kick panels. So let's see if we can do this without messing anything up. Alright, so I believe this goes to the brain that goes under the passenger seat. Alright guys, so coming from on each side, there's 4 different harnesses. One is for the actuator that goes directly to the rock slider that tells it when to go up and down. One of these is for the magnetic sensor that tells it when to go up and down. And then the other 2 I won't be using because they use the same wiring harness for a 4-door. So one of these is for the rear door that we would connect if we had a 4-door. And then the other one is for optional lights that you could have gotten with it, which I elected not to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hop on each side and clean up the wires. And I'm going to just electrical tape these out of the way so I'm not messing with these at all. So I can focus on the wires I do need to push through the drain plug. Which, by the way, the drain plug is right underneath here. You just have to move some of the carpet around. And I'll shoot a picture in a little bit to show you guys where the drain plug is. But that's where you're going to fish the harness through for the actuator. So I'm going to knock all that out and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, so I got the drain plug. I took it out and I put a slit in it. And you can see I've got the wire going through there, right underneath the driver's seat, and it's going down underneath. So I'm going to hook that up and then finish. It's a real bird's nest under here, man. There's just wires everywhere that I gotta figure out a real clean way of doing this, so I'm gonna take my time and I'll kind of show you guys the end result whenever I'm done. Alright guys, so I got all the wiring situated. It's really clean, all under the carpet, underneath the console. It's kind of a pain. It wasn't hard, but it took a little bit to, you know, get those plugs out, push the wires through to go underneath the Jeep, plug them all in. But it's all done now. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving on to the next step, which is to connect these sensors to the right below the door with some magnets, which will tell it when to open and when to close. So they give you a couple alcohol swabs. So I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to use the sticky here, and I'll probably even put some other double-sided sticky on this side to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And then I'll do it on the passenger side, and then all I have to do is just some wiring underneath the dash here and plug it all in and add a little switch, which is I believe it's a cutoff for it, and should almost be ready to test. So just give me a few more minutes and we're getting there. So that's connected. Now these just plug into here. And just got to tuck it away behind here. And we're good to go. Alright, I'm going to go knock out the other side and we'll be right back. Alright guys, just one last thing we need to do on the doors is the magnet that tells it when to open and close just needs to be stuck here, so hopefully that's... We're on the home stretch. All we need to do now is they give you this little mount bracket that goes with the OBD2 plug-in. You take that screw off, you put that on, the OBD2 back on, and then you screw it all back together, and then this switch goes right inside there, and it's right about there, and then this is going to be the cut off and turn on and off and the reset for the sliders. So we're just going to turn some wrenches underneath the dash, and man, like I said, we're on the home stretch. Probably in the next 10-15 minutes we're going to be ready to test it. So alright, so this should just come right out. Alright, just gotta tighten that back up now. Alright, nice and sturdy. So all we got to do now is just kind of clean up the wiring up front here. And I dare say we're done. So I'm going to clean up this mess and take you guys for a little test here in a sec. So moment of truth, and right on cue, as soon as I'm ready to go on video, the gardeners decided to go mow the front yard. So hopefully everything's coming across real clear, but all I got to do is plug the fuse in that I took out earlier and see if it works. Alright, so I don't think it's going to work right now because it needs to be turned on, but I could be mistaken.
Alright, we're going to do shell stop.
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec, Goose. Alright dear, come on over here for the camera and test it out on this side. Let me know what you think. Alright. Yeah, that one sounds better. Hop on in.
Oh my gosh. So much easier.
Yeah. Alright. So... wow, that's very cool. I'm kind of jealous.
Oh my gosh. I don't have to hop.
No, you got the step, dear.
I like it.
Alright, so everything's good on this side. There's something rubbing on the passenger side, so I'm going to go over there and try to make some tweaks and adjustments. And I'll let you guys know what I found out. Guys, so final product looks good. I just adjusted the other side. It was making a noise, and all I did is I untightened these. I'm sorry. I untightened those 4 bolts and those 4 bolts on the other side. Put a little bit of muscle into it to make sure it was tied up against make sure that the slider armor was tied up against the slide, and then retightened everything, and there was a little bit of play in there. So as soon as I did that, it worked out perfect. But man, another pretty simple install. Just took a while. It was a lot of tedious work, but I mean, that's amazing. Mama Goose already tried it out. She loved it. And then goes right back up. So, and on the other side, I'll kind of show you the same thing. Looks nice and clean. It almost looks like my Terraflex steps, except hers definitely has an added bonus. So, alright guys, I pretty much done with the video. Did the install on the JL yesterday. Did the install on Mama Goose's JL today with these Rock Slide Engineering slider steps, and all I got to do now is just kind of clean up this mess in the garage, which you can see is kind of all over the place. And I got 1 or 2 other projects on the JK that I've got some parts in that box back there, which I'll kind of hold out and let you guys know what it is later. But I think I'll take the rest of the weekend off. Got a big barbecue tomorrow, so I'll be waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to get the smoker going. Gonna be smoking some brisket, so it was a good day. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoy this material. I struggle sometimes in you know, showing you guys step by step, but I think I shot about as much as I could, and there's not a whole lot of 2-door JL Rock Slide Engineering videos out there, so hopefully this might be helpful to 1 or 2 of you. So happy trails, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll see you out there.